3, 2, 1.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of the biggest films of the year. I'm Sade Spence with Rolling Out, and we're bringing you all the action from the pink carpet. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Why did I have this right here? And then I'm like,
It's so awkward.
it's so weird. Margot, we're gonna go right here.
Hey, love, how are you? Good. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's huge. You've been in so many major motion pictures, but I feel like it's still relatively new for you. What is still surprising you about Hollywood?
Everything. I mean, every time I step onto a set, I can't believe it. I'm like, this is so wild. How did I get here? And it's been, I don't know, a decade now. I'm not sure when the novelty will wear off, but it's far from it so far.
Tell me a little bit about the magic on set. Is there like everyone talks about this madness with Quentin. Did you have a special moment working with him that you could tell me about?
Always. I mean, every day on set was ridiculous, but mainly because he does everything practically. It's not CGI. It's tangibly there in front of you. He doesn't assume you're going to recreate the background later. He will, art department, completely redo an entire street or 6 blocks of it. So, the magic is there because you feel completely transported to that era.
Yes, I love it. And, the two guys are trying to make it. That's what this movie is all about. Can you tell me what have you done or most creative thing you've done to try and break into the industry?
I mean, I've done a lot of cold calling, to be honest. I used to, if I wanted a job, I'd just call and call and call until someone would get on the phone with me.
Good advice.
It worked in the end, so being persistent pays off, apparently.
Yes, and you are about to take on the role of, Barbie's just announced. Adored doll, but sometimes controversial. What do you want girls and young women to know when you take on the new, Barbie?
I think we're a long way off knowing exactly what it's going to be, but we're really excited at the opportunity, and I think it is the opportunity to put a lot of positivity and something aspirational out in the world, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you get it?
Thank you, Leo. Congratulations.
Hey, Leo.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was all about two guys trying to make it. You probably know about The Hunger. What is something someone's done that's so creative to try and get something to you? Could be anything.
I mean, I've had stuff show up at my door before, but then unfortunately you can't read it because then there's legal issues, But I'd love to hear every story that everyone has to say, and that's the cool thing about the era that we're in right now, I think, in Hollywood, is there's a lot of amazing stories that are being able to be told because of all these streaming devices, things that people normally wouldn't take a chance on.
Yeah, and there is this, shift in the culture. The movies even about that. What is something you're seeing now that you'd like to see more of in terms of that shift?
More diversity, number one, would be amazing. I mean, I think that we in our industry have sort of pushed out a lot of different people, and it's time to be inclusive of all these different stories, all these different people, and really express that out to the world. And the truth is, Hollywood's done a bad job of it. And now I think that a lot of funding is going into these different types of stories and people that want to tell those stories, and that's encouraging to me.
Yes, I love that. And, Quentin Tarantino, he's always brought representation in, and I love seeing that. He's like the Jay-Z of movies,
Yeah, he is.
movies to the community. If he retires, do you think there's a chance he'll actually come out of retirement?
I don't know, man. He's like he's a unique guy because you got to understand he started out as a he was kind of this guru that told people about movies and movie history, and he wants that 10-disc set. You know what I mean? He wants that DVD set up on the wall. That is the Quentin Tarantino mantle. And I don't know if he's ever going to come back and make a film that is written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. I just don't. I think he might go into writing. I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm a fan of his work, and I just want to see more of these stories because he's such a unique voice. He really is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just do 2 quick questions here.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, two guys trying to make it. What is the most creative thing someone's done to try to get to you?
The most creative thing. Someone posed as they said they were my cousin on a set and got in my trailer. Had that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. Now, the film also is about a shift in the culture. It was a very, important time in the history of Hollywood. What are you seeing now as a shift in the culture that you want to see more of?
Yeah, well, funny enough, I mean, I feel like we're in kind of that cycle again. I mean, it was real renegade filmmaking at that time. We're seeing it again now with the streaming services, but more wealth of opportunity. We're seeing tougher material, pushing the limits, pushing the line, more inclusive. The music was great then, music's great now. A lot of people getting a shot. And divided countries, wasn't it? We were divided countries then and we are now.
I know, very true. It's such an important time, especially for representation. I think Quentin Tarantino's done such a good job of that. What do you think he'll actually come out of retirement if he does close out at 10?
It's not like he's going to disappear. He's dead serious about the 10th film, but he doesn't count, streaming services as a film. That's for television. So he'll still be doing that. He'll be writing novels. He'll be a playwright. He's not going away.
Yeah, and lastly, tell me a little bit about your bromance now with Leo. What do you guys text now? Are you guys like?
I love him. I try to cop a feel whenever I can.
Oh.
What do you think of my shirt, man?
How you doing?
Yeah,
Not bad. It's really close.
Okay.
My phone died. I think the battery pack is. I think it's in my bag. It's gray. It's like a little gray part. Snoop! Yo, Snoop! I met him at the last event.
Snoop, right here.
Yep.
Snoop, rolling out.
Yo, Snoop!
Snoop, rolling out right here. Come on, one question.
Snoop, work for the culture.
Come on, one black media. Right here.
Hi!
You gotta help us out. You gotta help out rolling out over here.
Sorry. Hello. Those are some killer shades you got going on.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about these two guys really trying to make it in the industry. Tell me about a time that you really were doing something creative to try to break into the rap game.
Well, probably early on, making mixtapes and cassettes and just trying to, find my voice and figure out what me and my homeboy Warren G and Nate Dogg wanted to do as far as like musically and finding our niche, because at the time we started, it really wasn't nobody doing it, so we had to really find our niche of doing it and like make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, and we finally got it right.
And you really did, and there's this movie's also about a shift in the culture that's also happening very much in music. What are you seeing right now in the music industry that you'd like to see a lot more of?
Women, a lot more women taking charge and dominating the charts and dominating the music scene.
What do you think of a hot girl summer?
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah?
Because I'm a hot boy.
You're a hot boy. How would you embody a hot boy summer? Tell me, what is a hot boy summer?
I mean, doing things that the city boys do the most. We like being in the shade. We like enjoying it. We like putting a little green in the air and just celebrating the most of what we do.
What are Snoop Dogg's essentials for the perfect hot boy summer? What do you have to bring with you when you going anywhere?
A whole lot of me and a whole lot of green.
Hey. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us at Rolling Out.
All right, appreciate you.
This is a four-view camera, and they take a quick photo of you. It's red cam. You heard a red. You heard a red in town. You guys take one hand out. It comes out crazy.
Just gonna walk by. Just get back.
Let me show you. Oh, you haven't seen this yet. Oh wait, wrong photo. Hold on.
That was already what's that, 3D?
Yeah, it's 4 of you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's dope.
Let me take one more. I fucked up.
Maybe put your.
Now you know what to do.
Yeah, that's about to look dope.
There we go. Let me show you now. One second. That's it.
Dead yet? Why, thank you. Is it dead yet?
What dead yet?
You?
Oh, I was dead too. Yep.
I was like, 'cause you've been up there the whole time. Like,
Here, try this on.
oh yeah.
It's gonna have to be these 3 over here. I'm sorry, I can't do one question. It's gonna have to be a group, guys.
Oh man, I hope I don't fall over.
Well, I definitely did have them in mind that I thought it would work out great, but I didn't know I was going to be so lucky as to score the casting coup of the generation. So I had to consider other people, but it worked out very well for me.
Lovely. Thank you.
What did this movie say about how times have changed in Hollywood?
Well, it's like, it is interesting. I mean, that is what the movie is about because it's dealing with a change in the zeitgeist at that moment. And one of the things I actually kind of find interesting about that is I've seen a few movies that dealt with 1969, but I like the idea that our 2 lead characters are on the outside of the change. So I kind of like that I'm exploring that hippie Hollywood, but from 2 characters who aren't down with it, who feel they're left out on the outside looking in. And I thought that was an interesting way to deal with it.
Well, what is the most creative thing someone's done to try to get something to you? I mean, they've got that hunger. What's the most creative thing someone's done? Get that script to you?
Well, no one's just sent me a script because I write my own stuff, so I'm not really going to read it. Not being a dick, but if I have time to read, I'll read a book. All right. Yeah. But I've actually had a lot of different actors who've just written me letters. Who just said, hey, look, I've done this and I've done that and I've had a few roles and I just want to be on your radar, but I just want you to know I grew up watching your movies and I really like them, and so please consider me. And that always means something to me.
Yeah, and Leo told me you're trying to create a box set of 10. Is that what you're doing? It's going to go on the mantle?
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea.
Thank you so much.
Hey, good talking to you, darling.
Thank you.
What if you win another Oscar? What happens? Okay. Hey, we got it. Good job,
I got
Charlie.
multiple questions.
Good job,
Mwah.